Another new coffee. We're going for Cafe Nero Nicaragua blend this time. Single origin. And that right there is an upside down latte, or a macchiato, or whatever you want to call it. Hello, welcome back to the vlog, and today's a big day actually. So today's kind of the day that I cross over 200 miles. So I've completed 200 miles in the Nike Next Percent, the Vaporfly Next Percent, and they're kind of the Nike staple marathon running shoe, the first ever shoe with like a kind of carbon plate in it that's designed to get you to run faster. So what I thought I'd do, kind of passing that benchmark, is do a bit of a full review. I think going forward, what I'm probably going to do is wait for all shoes to kind of cross over 150 miles and then do a bit of a full review on them. That way I get to have some really good experience in them, because I think anything shorter than that, not that I run a lot anyway, but I think anything shorter than that, you risk kind of slipping into the very, very early stages of a shoe and you don't kind of get that longevity of it. So yeah, that's going to be my my first ever kind of full review of a shoe. So Nike Next Percent coming up. First of all, having some lunch, having some coffee. It's horrendous weather outside, raining, cold, so perfect running weather. And today's workout is actually quite a good one. So today's session is about an hour and 4 minutes, and it's actually a threshold session. So you've got the typical kind of 11-minute warm-up, so a 3-minute jog just kind of to start, and then 2 minutes increase in pace every 2 minutes for 4 sets. And then a 3-minute walk at the end. So that's kind of the warm-up that I do all the time for most of my sessions. And then what we're going to be doing actually is kind of a sub-threshold repeat. So 15 minutes at 7:39 a mile. I'm going to probably be aiming to keep that as close as possible to the time, not go any faster, not go any slower, only because I probably could hold 7:30 and pull 2 miles in that 15 minutes. However, the loop I'm going to be doing is like 1.45k on the dot. So actually, if I hold 7:39, I think that's going to be literally 2 loops, and I finish literally in the same place every time. So it's repeat 2 times, sub-threshold, 15 minutes at 7:39. I'm probably going to be doing that in a couple of hours actually, but what I thought I would do first is just have some lunch, let that go down, have a coffee. While I'm doing that, actually just do some filming, film the shoe, and then also go into a little bit of a review of the shoe just kind of towards the end of the video. Feeling good, feeling all right. So legs are feeling remarkably good, I think. Usually on a Thursday session is when I'd feel my legs a little bit after, you know, recovery ride or a long run on a Sunday, and then the recovery ride on a Monday. Tuesday, quite an intense bike session, and then quite an intense running session on the Wednesday. By Thursday, my legs are literally feeling it for a bit when I get back on the bike. But yeah, so far so good. They're feeling all right. So we'll chat in a bit. Get ready for the workout in a couple of hours. Okay, so we are done with work for the day, and now we're heading off. I've got a nice lake around here, so again, as I mentioned, it's 1.45k on the dot, so I'm going to try and get 2 laps of that every single set I've got. So 4 laps of work, plus obviously the warm-up and the cool-down, not included in that, so that'll just add onto that. And yeah, We're just going to get in the car, get ready, and drive over there now. And I'm going to switch you to the GoPro. All right, let's go. Right, so it works out well that the rest happens right as I come to the car, so that's quite good. Rest off 3 minutes, that's the warm-up done. Now it's the 2 sets of sub-threshold, so 7:39 per mile pace. Oh, feeling good out there today actually. The warm-up is usually quite difficult to get under about 6:30, but I was pushing about 6:15 for the last 2 minutes, so that's good. Hopefully it's a good omen for the rest of the workout. All right, 2 minutes gone. Stretch the legs off and then working sets, 2 sets of 15 minutes, 5-minute rest. Coming up to 5 minutes on set 1, 7:30 being held, keeping something in the tank just in case. Ten minutes into set 1, 7:37, 7:38, first mile was 7:38, holding it fine, feels good. 5 minutes to go at this pace, 5-minute rest, then we do another 15. First one done, 5-minute rest. Yeah, fine, everything's fine with that. This is the thing, I'm not sure whether it's the shorter, more intense sessions on the Wednesday as opposed to the long run that's making me feel like this, because obviously the longer run I don't tend to have a bottle with me, it's like a longer loop, so I don't have any water with me, but at the same time with the rests in these kind of shorter, more specific sessions, maybe that's what it makes it feel like. But I don't know, because I wear the next percent in these sessions, it feels like I'm not putting that much effort in to achieve the pace. So again, also it's a 5-minute rest, so that might have more to add to it. We're 2 minutes in now, feels fine, so just rest off, go again in a minute. But yeah, 7:39, 15-minute sets, all feels good. Catch up in a sec. Cut the rest short by 1 minute. Just a 4-minute rest. Off on the second set. Feeling good. Need to make up some time because I'm a bit late. So, set 2, underway. Okay, so pace is holding up good. 7:39 for that first mile. 7:20 to go for the rest of the set. Hold that pace, and then we're done. experts for driving. Talk about that in a second. Right. Run done. Calling it quits. Catch up with you when I'm home and switching back to the normal camera. Alright, so let's talk about the Nike Next Percent, the full review of the shoe, taking it over 200 miles, and the kind of barrier that I'm giving myself to do a proper full review of a shoe is about 150 miles. When it comes to these reviews, what I really want to do is focus on 5 different points. Firstly, is it fit for purpose? With the Nike Next Percent, they're supposed to add a percentage to your, or make you a little bit faster because of the carbon plate. With the Pegasus, it's a more comfortable ride. Does it do what it says it's going to do? The next point I want to talk about is comfort overall in the shoe itself. How comfortable is it to wear when you're actually running around in this thing? And then functionality, durability, and price. So when this shoe first kind of came out, when Kipchoge did his marathon effort in this, in the Alpha Fly, obviously this is the Vaporfly to the one just below, it was all the rage. Everyone was talking about it. Everyone was talking about a carbon fiber plate in a shoe and everything that it did for you. And I got in a lot of hot water in terms of, you know, the science they use and the kind of research they use. People called it tech doping, basically. So just using tech to get you faster. Does it do what it says it's going to do? Now, for me personally, at my level, I'm not an elite athlete. I'm not running any kind of really impressive efforts. My 5K is 22 minutes. My half marathon is, 1:54. I'm not running some of the numbers you see people running, not even like, hobbyist runners, like people that actually enjoy running or that's their sport. So for me personally, yes, it does do what it says it's going to do. For me, when I'm wearing this shoe, whether it's a faster effort, whether it's a PB attempt or speed work, I definitely feel like I'm actually going faster in this thing, and I definitely feel like it's actually doing what it says it's going to do in terms of actually propelling you forward using that carbon fiber plate and getting you to run faster. So for me, from that perspective, I think it's a solid 9 out of 10 in that category. Comfort. So when it comes to comfort, you don't have to look too far back to actually see that I posted a video about the Nike Next Percent and there being painful running. For me, when you're up and changing the pace, when you're doing workouts, when there's a longer session overall, I was getting foot pain running in this shoe. And I think that's because, the drop's about 10 mil, it's propelling you forward, it's making you run onto your toes more. Again, that kind of rubber is on your toes, so you want to be landing there as opposed to anywhere else in the shoe. I mean, you can see the wear there that's actually taking effect in the shoe. So for me, when it comes to comfort, the shorter effort, the 5Ks, it's absolutely fine. But then when we're talking, longer efforts, that half marathon, anything plus 10 miles, and that foot pain that came with it as well, I think for me, that's what scores this quite low. So I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10 for comfort, purely because of that. Functionality. So with this, what I wanted to talk about is using the shoe across the board. With the Nike Frees that I've got, I used to wear them to the gym whenever I used to do a gym session. I used to wear, ages ago, I had these kind of red flamboyant looking Kaigers or Wild Horse Nike shoes, and I used to wear them when I was lifting. And those shoes had a lot of functionality. I can't walk properly in these things. I will drive in Birkenstocks, as you saw when I got to the lake. I literally just got out of the car and then put the shoes on purely to run. I can't drive in these, I can't walk in these. In terms of functionality, moving away from running, and it's kind of an unfair category because they are strictly a running shoe. They're not designed for anything else. But when it comes to functionalities, I'd say like a 3 out of 10. It's a running shoe. It's made for running, and that's all that it's going to be for. Durability. So again, we're approaching that 200-mile mark, and you can already start to see some wear on the heel there. So you can tell that I'm heel striking. You can tell that there's some kind of rubber here to prevent that for over or under pronation, to kind of give some kind of durability to the heel. The purpose of the shoe is to run fast in it, so it's propelling you onto your toes. You are aiming to land on that rubber here on the forefoot. So in terms of durability, no, it doesn't score high. But actually, when you look at the rubber, if I was a decent technique runner, I'd land on the forefoot a lot more. I wouldn't be heel striking, so the shoe would be very durable. But yeah, just purely because of that, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 when it comes to durability, just because again, there is a little bit of wear there. And the last point, price. So these range up to 230, 250 pounds. I can't off the top of my head remember that. Truth be told, I wouldn't be paying anywhere near that level for shoes. I had a discount code, which is why I kind of got these, and going forward I probably wouldn't spend that much money on shoes unless I had some kind of a discount code. But I think when you're looking for something with such specificity for your sport, so these cost 250 quid, some cycling shoes out there cost, you know, 300-400 pounds. The more technology, the more quality components you have to something like this, the price is going to go up. So in terms of pricing, it is an extortionate amount for shoes. However, you are paying for the technology that you actually want. You are paying for the components that are coming with it. Could it be a little bit cheaper? There are some carbon plate shoes coming out now that are a little bit cheaper than that. But again, the components are expensive. What they're putting into it, the investment that they put into it is very expensive. So again, when it comes to price, if we're talking affordability, it's obviously going to be quite low. When it comes to price and for actually what you pay and for what you get, Nike could have gone up to 300 for this and people would have bought it, but they didn't. So I think for me, it's really difficult to go anything higher than an 8 for the price, because they are really expensive still, despite everything I've just said. I think I'll probably give it about a 6.5, 7 on price, purely because they could have gone higher and they would have had a lot of people buying these shoes, but they didn't, but they are still expensive. So yeah, that is the Nike Next Percent. I'm going to wear the out of these, right? So I'm just going to wear these until that is really bad, until the foam is damaged. I'm going to get a lot of wear out of these. I'm going to continue to wear these, and the likelihood is when I'm done with these, I'm either going to replace them or go up to the Alpha Fly. Really kind of depends on where I am at the time and what I'm thinking and whether or not I have a discount code. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with the shoe. It's a really good shoe. I think overall, I'm going to give this a solid 9 out of 10. Don't look at the numbers, it doesn't make sense. It's not an average kind of thing. But overall, I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10 because for a running shoe that you want to run faster in, that you want to get PBs in, that you know you're going to take off as soon as you're done with your run and just give it everything that you've got, these are 100% everything that you need in a shoe to give you all of that. Of course, there can be changes. Of course, there can be a lot of other things that are different, but you know, actually, they're pretty good. And I gave my first impressions on them a little bit earlier in an earlier video, but that's kind of my full review on the Nike Next Percent. What I'll probably do, in all honesty, is keep using them and make another video in the future, probably a few months from now, just talking about that durability a little bit more and just kind of showing you what happens to that and whether or not, you know, that gets any worse. But yeah, apart from that, that's the Nike Next Percent full review. I hope you enjoyed that video. Any questions, leave them in the comments below and I will get back to you on that. If you haven't subscribed yet and you've liked this video, then please, you know, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. But yeah, thanks for watching this video and we'll catch you in the next one.